Okay, it's now post time for race 8. The one Mrs. Dragonfire back on the track, rolling up in behind that Metro Home Building Center starting gate. Let's send it upstairs for the call to track announcer Vance Cameron.
Mrs. Dragonfire, Miss Sangria, skip across, Fluentosity, catch a few rays, stealing bases, scratch down to a half a dozen noses here in the 8th race, and they're putting them on the gate. Top of the stretch. They're all lined up and approaching a start. Rough and pacing, skip across, leaves out. Mrs. Dragonfire along the rail between them. Miss Sangria, then on the far outside into the turn, catch a few raises, wide forward. Fifth up the rail, that is Fluentosity, the early trailer, stealing bases up the backstretch. Mrs. Dragonfire, the early leader, and it's going to be short-lived. Here's Campbell and Skip Across to take over the lead at the opening quarter mile. Mrs. Dragonfire goes second, third up the rail. Miss Sangria dropped in fourth is Catch a Few Rays. Fluentosity, she's fifth, trailing the field, stealing bases. 28-3 was the quarter mile. They're in straight alignment now. On the point, Skip Across the leader. Racing second is Mrs. Dragonfire. Miss Sangria is third. There goes Fluentosity up on the outside to take over fourth. Following the cover on the outside, fifth is Stealing Bases. Now the trailer at the rail is Catch a Few Rays. 58-3 for a half a mile. 3 in, 3 out. Down to 3/8 of a mile to go. Skip Across the leader, going to the back stretch. Second is Mrs. Dragonfire. First up on the outside, third, Fluentosity. Second over fourth is Stealing Bases. On the cones, Miss Sangria, nowhere to go. Fifth, and the trailer, Catch a Few Rays. 3/4 in the books. Skip Across, got him there in a 1:28-4, approaching the 7/8. Skip Across the leader. Mrs. Dragonfire is second. Fluentosity third. Fourth at the rail. Miss Sangria. Down the stretch they come. Skip Across. Fluentosity coming back on the outside. Skip Across all the way from our Campbell. Fluentosity second. Mrs. Dragonfire third. The mile in 1:58-2.
All right, we're going to get a look at the Universum Slow-Mo for race 8. A big effort here from the 4 Skip Across on a very strange spot for this mare. As you can look down her lines, not too often she cuts a mile out here, but she did here tonight. She got to the front. Mrs. Dragonfire released her there prior to the quarter. 28-3, half 58-3, 128-4. Big trip from the 5 Fluentosity, who was just grinding it out there on the outside for David Dowling. She's going to get a really nice second here in the pocket sitter. Mrs. Dragonfire race really well here for Patrick Shepard. She's going to get the show, though, but it's Skip Across and Campbell to win the 8th here at Red Shores.
Skip across into the 8th race winner's circle. Bay pacing mare. She's fine but better than Cheddar. Off the Stand Forever Dam. Ohio Annie. Omatera Harper, Ryan Wilkie, and Stanley Harper Jr. Bred by Jeff Ruck of Innisfil, Ontario. Trained by Stanley Harper Jr. and in those hands of Mark Campbell. She makes every call a winning one tonight in 158 and 2. Skip across. Wires the 8th.